everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how I do my acrylic application on my left hand, and also I'll be doing some line art, neon art on that left hand. Here what I'm doing is I'm cutting my nail tips to the desired length. Here I'll be grabbing my hand file. It's a Tammy Taylor 100 grit. You can find that on my Amazon storefront. I did link it on the description box below, and I'll take you straight to my Amazon storefront where I have everything I use on this video. Here what I'll do is I'll grab my hand file, Tammy Taylor 100 grit, and I will file the sides to make sure that everything is fully covered from the sides. Also, I'll file the tip just to make sure that I have a nice and crispy shape. Right here, what I'm doing, I'm just repeating the same process to all 5 nails. You will just see me filing the sides, the tips, just to make sure I blend everything nice and neat. Here what I'm doing is I'm getting all cleaned up, removing all the dust. Here I'm grabbing my e-file with my mandrel bit with my sanding band of 180 grit, and I'm going at a speed of 3 or 4. I'm just erasing that smile line. I'm not going too hard on that sanding band on my natural nail, just because I do not want to do any heat spikes or going too hard into my natural nail. All I want to do is slightly remove that smile line. Here I will be showing you that I'm using Color Flamingo. It's a Young Now product. It's a light pink. Here I'm also going to show you that I'm going to use Kiara Sky monomer. This is the second time I use it, and it's a really good monomer. It's lower order than Young Now's and Mia Secret. Here I'm showing you the size 14 Klinsky brush and the Pana brush size 10. Both are from Amazon. My link for my Amazon storefront is down below in the description box. It'll take you right to my Amazon and you can find those items there. Here I'm just setting up to start working on my left hand. just showing you again. The Cover Flamingo is what I'm going to use. I'm getting all set up. This is the monomer again, Kiara Sky. Make sure you use a dropper or something to pour your monomer, just because here I didn't do that and I did make a little bit of a mess. I'm also going to show you the 3 items I use, which is dehydrator, also Young Nails Protein Bond, and also the primer for a press. So I used these 3 items. As you see, I first go in with my dehydrator, then my Young Nails primer, and then a press primer. They've worked so far for me. All my sets last over 2 months, which I don't recommend going so far, but they are good products to use. Here I'm just going to apply it fully to all my nails. Make sure that you fully cover all your natural nail, just to make sure that it helps you prevent any lifting. Here I will start with my application. I'm just seeing what finger I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with my index finger. I'm going to grab my bead. I'm going to place it right where the natural and the tip meet. I'm going to push it up and then pat and drag down with the stomach of my brush. Then I'm just going to clean the sides to make sure everything stays nice and neat, and make sure I don't make any mess or any floods. Here I'm just showing you where I place my first bead. Now I'm going to grab another bead. I'm going to place it a little above my first bead, and I'm going to push it up towards my cuticle, and I'm going to tap and then drag down only from where I placed it down, just because I want to make sure that my cuticle stays nice and neat. And then all I'm doing right here is I'm cleaning my sides. Again, I'm going to place another bead, and here I'm just like cleaning, making it all nice and neat. Now I am going to grab another bead, and I'm going to place it again where I placed my third bead, and push my bead up to my cuticle, pushing it nice and neat and gentle. And then as I'm pushing, I'm going to drag down and then clean the sides. Nothing happens if it kind of goes on the side. All you need to do is just clean it up. Here I'm just cleaning, making sure everything stays nice and neat. Here what I'm doing is I'm checking all my angles, and I'm seeing some acrylic down close to my tip area, so I'm going to grab another bead and I'm going to place it, push it up, and then drag down gently where I'm not taking all that product. I'm going to wet my brush and brush it up just to make sure that I don't create any dents in even areas with my application. Try to keep it all nice and clean. Here I'm going to grab another bead, place it a little above where I placed my other bead at the tip area, just to make sure, like I said, everything looks nice. There's no bumps, lumps. It's really important to make sure that you keep it nice and neat, so that way it's less filing and less fixing with the file and the drill. So here I'm just slicking. I'm going to repeat the same process to all my nails, so I'll just let you watch that. Here I am almost towards my pinky. The pinky and this finger are a little bit more difficult for me just because it's a little bit more hard to get them to stay steady. It's a little bit more harder, but the thumb you will see in a few seconds that it's a little bit harder, more harder than these two fingers. Here I kind of wanted to switch it where I wanted to place a bead and not push it all the way up, and I felt like that kind of threw off my application in this finger, where as you can see I did have a little bit of flooding on that right side, but nothing happens. All you do is just clean it up as best as you can to try to fix it and make sure that it doesn't get overfill or you don't get any acrylic stuck to your sides. I do take a little bit longer on this finger just because, like I said, I try to not push it all the way up and my acrylic kind of set on the side, on that right side. So I'll just let you guys to continue watching, and thank you. just checking my tips. I personally don't like them too thick nor too thin, and they were a little too thin for my preference. And so I'm just adding a little bit there. Here I'm starting my thumb. It's a little bit difficult because I'm trying to keep it in camera angle, but I feel like this is the hardest finger out of all 5 fingers. Here I'm just trying to make sure that everything looks nice. I try my hardest not to leave any lumps and try to make that application as good as possible. It's really important, like I said, to try to make your application good and without any lumps or any dents, just because at the end you're going to have to buff even more, you're going to have to file even more, use an e-file, and just take your time on your application. I feel like I still have a lot of learning to do, but one thing I've learned is make sure that your application is the best that you can do, just because at the end you're gonna have to file even more, and that's gonna take even longer at that point. Here I'm just showing you all my angles from my thumb, checking to make sure that I fix any spot that I need to fix. Here I'm just going to grab a little bit more monomer. Like I said, I'm just checking to make sure that I don't need any more acrylic. But I will be adding a little bit more to my tip area. Here I'm just adding, I'm pushing up and then dragging down. It's really important that right where you place that bead, you do wet your brush again and you brush it up just to make sure you don't leave any unevenness at that area. Here, what I'm just going to do, just to avoid that, I'm just going to place another bead close to my cuticle, and I'm going to drag down. But, of course, leaving the cuticle area alone. I'm just cleaning the sides, just because I don't want to drag all that product away from that cuticle area, where then I will create flooding. Here, I'm going to go again, just making sure it looks nice and neat. Honestly, there is 3 bead methods, 2 beads, but I feel like you should add as many beads as you feel comfortable. Everybody works differently. Here I was about to put away my acrylic, but I was checking my tips to make sure they weren't too thin for my liking, and I went ahead and I just took the decision of just adding a little bit more. So you will see that part right now. I'll be adding a little bit more to those areas that I'm pointing to. Always try to drain your bead where you're not leaving it so wet where it will completely drip or flood any area of your nail that you're adding it to. Always try to keep your work nice and neat. And then I'm gonna grab my dapping dish, some acetone just to clean my brush, just to make sure I keep it nice and clean and it keeps it in a nice, clean, nice condition. Here I'm just kind of turning it just to keep it nice and clean and together. This is the best way to clean it. Make sure that you get all your acrylic out if you want to maintain and keep your brush nice and new. That brush was from Amazon. It's a size 14 Kolinsky. Here I'm going to grab again my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file, 100 grit. I'm going to go on the sides to make sure that everything looks nice and neat and make that shape nice and crispy. Always try to go on this underneath the nail towards and in towards the sides. Also here I'm filing my tip area. Here I'm just going in again, making sure that everything looks nice and neat and even on each side. Make sure you don't over file on one side. File each side evenly, or else you will get one side uneven. Here I'm gonna repeat the same process to all my nails. In a few minutes you will see that I will peel off that Tammy Taylor file and put a new one. These are very, very convenient, and I gotta say that I feel like these files are a little bit more, they have a nice grid where they'll leave you a nice shape, crispy shape, versus an 80 grid that I've used before. It's a little bit more harder just because I have to file more. With this one it's more crispy, more grid, and it leaves your nice nails. what I'm doing is I'm gonna grab 150 over 240 file, also from Amazon. This file right here, I really like it because it makes your buffing way easier. This file, I use it to smoothen out any surfaces, double check my sides. Right here, I will show you is what grid and what brand it is. And it is that 150 over 240. And that's a really, really good file as well. Like I said, it makes the buffing way smoother and way easier. Just because it's almost like if it would be like a buffer, you're buffing the surface to make sure everything is really smooth. Here I'm just gonna make sure and check all my nails and now smoothing out the surface. And right after I finish going through each finger, I will be sealing next my cuticle area. Here I'm finished using my hand file, and I'll be using my 5-in-1 fine bit. This bit will be only used to seal the cuticle, and I will slightly go over the surface, not so hard. Here I'm going on the sides and around the cuticle, making sure I seal it. Just because I want to prevent any lifting or any early lifting, so I make sure I seal it nice and neat, where I'm also blending a little below that cuticle area where it evens and blends correctly. Here you'll see me going over the acrylic now, just because I want to just smoothen out the surface even more. I don't go too hard with my drill bit, just because I do not want to remove any bulk. I just want to make sure my surface is nice and smooth and nice without any dents, any uneven surfaces. Here I'm repeating the same process, and I will to the rest of the nails. I will just let you guys watch this. Here I'm finishing up, and I'm just gonna clean up a little. I'm gonna grab a buffer, and the buffer is a 180 grit. You can also find those on Amazon. I found a 20 pack for 10, I believe, I'm not mistaken, but there it is. It's 180. They're really good buffers. Like I said, there is a link on my description below, and you can click that link and it'll take you straight to my Amazon storefront, and they will be linked there. Here I'm just gonna buff each nail, sides, underneath the nail, just to make sure that if I have any acrylic stuck, I go ahead and buff it out. I will repeat the process to every single nail. Let me let you guys watch that process. Here I just finished buffing on my nails. I'm just shaking off the dust. I'm gonna start using my Young Nail Swipe with my lint-free wipes. Here I'm just showing you that I'm gonna use that Young Nail Swipe. These little lint-free wipes I did purchase as well from Amazon. I really like them. They don't leave any lint. I'm gonna go fully on my nails, clean underneath, the sides, close to my cuticle area. It contains or you get a lot of dust in that area. So I'm just gonna make sure I clean up and down on the sides, underneath my nail, and I will continue the process to the rest of the nails. Here I was showing you guys the Flamenco cover from Young Nails, and I was also explaining on my live on TikTok that they have a kit for $109. It comes with everything. It comes with 2 monomers. It comes with a Young Nail swipe, buffers, files, acrylic brush, cuticle oil, top coat. It also comes with forms. It also comes with glitters, cover whites, cover pink, also clear. So you get all sorts of items in that starter kit, which is a good price, and it comes with a lot of stuff so you can start doing nails. Here I'm just, like I said, I'm showing you it's from Young Nails. It's really important that you clean your nails really clean before you do any art, just because you want to prevent any lint in your art. Here I'm going to prepare my dapping dish with acetone. As you can see, those little jars right there, I did purchase from Amazon. They're gel paints. They're very pigmented. You just have to be very careful when you open. Make sure you put it on a flat surface, because if they do tip, they will spill. The colors are very pigmented, which I really love. And after you dry them in the light, on the UV light, and let's say you are doing nail art over the art you already placed, if you clean them off with alcohol or swipe, they won't the paint won't come off. Here I'm showing you the nail art brush that I use. I used to use a Beetle one, but that one works for me perfect, just because the bristles grab more product than the Beetles. I felt like those were a little bit it was more difficult to do art on those. Here I am gonna show you what design I'm going for. I was either going for something like this or something like this, more like neon, abstract, line art. I did like those two as well. But I'm gonna go for something like this. I want to try something new. I've never done something bright like that before. Here I'm going to show you the colors I'm going to use. And like I said, this brand right here, it's a really good brand. I was looking at Amazon for good gel paints, and this one had by far the best reviews. I'm just grabbing the colors I'm going to use. Since I haven't opened this one yet, I am going to have to open it up. But like I said, these gel paints are 36 gel paints for under $30. They do constantly have coupons, so you do get a few dollars off. But the description below does have the Amazon storefront link, and you can find those under Now Art Goodies on my Amazon storefront. Here I'm going to start my Now Art. I did want to start with my pinky. I am going to do a yellow neon Frenchie on my pinky. And here I'm just dipping my brush into the gel art. It's always best to leave it thin, not too thick gel paint on your brush, or else it will leave thick lines or it can mess up your whole design. So try to use thin layers of gel. Here I'm going to use my my acrylic jar, so I can put my nail there and make it a little easier for me to draw my Frenchie. Like I said, these are super pigmented. I only use one coat of these, but it's really important that you use thin coats. Just because you don't want, when you're going to cure it, you don't want it to kind of like burn the paint or make it all crunchy. Just because it can happen. So try to do thin layers. Here I'm showing you these I did on a live before this live that I did on TikTok. That was gel paint as well, which I'm using right now. And I did some nail art. Here I'm just continue working on filling in that Frenchie. My index and my thumb will be 2 more Frenchies that I will do, but in different colors. My ring finger and my middle finger will be nail art that I will be doing. Again, here I'm showing you something that I want to do. Here I'm just continue filling it in. I'm looking at every single angle, making sure that I'm covering the area nice and evenly, not so thick. And then if you decide to do thin layers, like I said, this gel paint is super great. It does leave with one thin coat, it does leave the nails really pigmented where you don't have to do a second time. It's all on preference, but I felt like it covered fully as what I desired. here I'm just going to show you the the UV light that I purchased. I did have a longer white one. It was great, but the charge would not last more than a day. It would last in less than 30 minutes. This one, I haven't charged it until today, and it still has battery. So it's lasted a week, 2 weeks already with no charge. It still has battery. Here I'm just showing you the yellow I used on my pinky. Here I just have my hand in the UV light curing that pinky, just because I wanted to make sure that if I did anything else on the rest of the fingers, I wouldn't mess up the paint. Next, after I'm done curing that finger, I will be working on my index finger. For that one, I will be using a hot pink. And shortly, I will be showing you that color. And that color is this one right here. Those are the gel paints I'm using, and that's the brand. Here, like I said, I'm just waiting for it to come out of the light. And then I will be starting on my index finger. We're just looking at my nail to see how it looked. I will do another Frenchie on that index finger. I'm just going to open it a little bit more, just because it was a little bit hard to dip my brush in there. So what I'll do is I went ahead and just tore the whole top part off. And then kind of dipped some back in there since it was like full covered of gel paint. Here I'm just going to start doing my Frenchie. There is a part in this video where I draw it all right now, but decide that I did not like it, so I went back and I just erased it. Now we further in a few seconds that you'll see that. It's all between preferences. I just want to try to keep it the same as my pinky, and that's when I'm looking to see, and I'm trying my best to fix the almond there, but after I fill it all in, that's when I decide that I do not like it. Here I'm just looking, eyeballing. My next finger will be my thumb. That would be an orange after I finish working on this pink Frenchie, and I'll just let you guys watch the rest of the video. Here I do speed up the speed a little just because it is a bit longer than usual. And I did do a live on TikTok, so it is a little bit longer. So I do speed the process of the video at this point. I am redoing that Frenchie. And I did notice after that I had that pink paint on my finger after I already had cured it. And so what I did is I did buff it off, and you will see on the video that I buffed off the color. But then later on in the video, I did see that I shouldn't have buffed it because I was going to use it for my nail art. Here, I'm just speeding the process. And from here on, I would just let you guys see the process of the rest of the fingers. Here I'm starting with the orange. I did show you guys the nail tips I used because I was asked if I sculpted these, but I used tips, and they're from the brand Setco. They are the XL square. Here I'm just showing you the design again. Here I just cleaned my two fingers so I can start my nail art on those. I'm starting with my orange. And then I'll do the orange on the other nail. And here I'm just going to start doing abstract and now line art. The process is a bit speed up just because, like I said, it's a longer video than expected. Here I'm going in with my pink. I put it close to my cuticle and my ring finger. Then I'm going to do a pink line on my middle finger. Then I'm going to cure it. Then I'm going to go in with my my yellow. I'm going to do a abstract close to my cuticle and a line in my ring finger. Then I'm going to cure it. Then I'm going to go in with my black. I will do a black line next to the pink line for my middle finger. Then I will do another line close to the yellow one on my ring finger. Then I would decided that I wanted to do little black dots. You will see that I did not like how they looked. I was hesitant and I was going to use a daughter, but then I used the brush. So what I did is I erased it and I went back in with the daughter and I used that black. Then I erased it on my ring finger and then I went again with the daughter. Then I decided, there I'm showing you the black. Then what I did is, there I showed you all the other colors that I had. Then I just put it into the light and I cured it. There I was showing you that I used to use those metal one gel polishes, but then these are, I feel like they're better, less of gel polishes that you don't have to use. Here I'm just doing dots on my thumb. I also did some on my index finger. Then I'm going in and doing some dots as well on my pinky. Here I'm just gonna let you guys watch the rest. Here I'm showing you that if you go on my TikTok, you click that link on my bio, then you go on, it'll take you to my Amazon storefront, then just go on Nail Art Goodies, and there it would be where you'll find those 36 gel paints, and also you can see there was a $5 coupon, and then also there is my gel brushes as well. Here I'm just continue doing some line art. And then right there I'm just telling you, don't go too thick with your gel paint. Use thinner coats when you're gonna dip and take it out and paint. Here I'm just looking and see if I'm liking what I'm designing on my thumb. Then I decide to go in and add some dots on my ring finger. Then I remove them. Then now I'm gonna go to my thumb and I'm gonna go and add some dots there. Here I'm just going to the Young Now website and I'm showing you guys how much the kit cost and showing you guys a picture from their website, all the items that come in with that kit. And then here is when I do start the dots on the thumb. Here I was just showing you guys some of the ideas that I had in mind, because I didn't know what else to add on my index finger. I do draw that black line around the Frenchie, but then erase it. And then here I show you that there is no pink gel paint on that lens-free wipe. It did just remove the black. That's another thing that I liked, that the paint didn't come off. Here I'm just showing you guys the rhinestones, because I was like, what colors, and I don't have any neon colors, so I was just checking to see what rhinestones to use for my index finger, since I decided that I just wanted to add some rhinestones. There I was showing you the new gel glue for the rhinestones. I got it from Amazon and it's the Beetles. There I started using some little gold beads in between the rhinestones. Then I also had realized that I had those flowers and I should have added them to the nails, but then I decided to use the rhinestones. Here I was gonna do some rhinestones on my thumb, but then decided that it was too much already on that thumb, that I shouldn't add rhinestones. Here I'm just showing you the top coat, and then I just top coat my nails with Koopa. I did use a not polish. It was a really good top coat. It just ran out, so I'm using this Koopa one. So this is the end of the video. I will let you guys watch the rest of it. I'm just gonna put some top coat, cure it, and then thank you for watching.